And now, our story continues. Dr. John Cabot closed the door of surgery behind him and walked glumly down the hospital corridor. Although he wasn't actually aware of its real significance, the past few weeks had been a period of emotional transition that had left him confused and embittered. Johnny had never found life very complex. His family had amply provided him with background, money, and social position. With few problems, he had for the most part been content to drift. It wasn't until he came under the influence of Dr. Paul that Johnny Cabot demonstrated any active or constructive interests. He was on the verge of flunking medical school when Dr. Paul had straightened him out. Later, Dr. Paul had taken him into Miles Memorial Hospital as his assistant. And under Dr. Paul's guidance, he had become hard-working and industrious, with the potential qualities of a fine surgeon. But his 15-year-old sister's problem had created a serious dilemma for Dr. Cabot, presented a problem calling for sympathetic, mature treatment, and he was hurt by his failure in handling it. Now confused and bitter, distrusting his own perspective, he felt that he, rather than Donna, was the one needing advice. Passing Dr. Paul's office, Dr. Cabot noticed the partly open door, glanced in just as Dr. Paul looked up from his desk.
Oh, hello, Johnny. Come in.
Are you busy? I don't like to bother you.
No, not at the moment. Just checking these reports. Push the door to and sit down.
I think I need a vacation.
What's the matter?
I don't know. Just feel sort of tired, run down. No pep. Suppose I ought to see a good doctor?
Maybe you do need a vacation, Johnny. Would you like to get away for a few days?
Oh, no, I was just making talk. One of those bad days, I suppose. What's new, anything?
No change in the status quo that I know of. Oh, I saw Donna when she was here. I think she looks better. I'm glad to see it.
Did you talk with her?
No, I was busy. But I think she was with Miss Martin for a while. Oh, and she visited with Ricky. Why? Any special reason that I should have talked with her?
No, I imagine Virginia took care of it. Donna's still a pretty mixed-up, troubled little girl, I guess.
I see. You still don't feel very sympathetic toward her problem, do you, Johnny?
No, Dr. Paul. Frankly, I'm pretty fed up with the whole thing.
Well, now that the school term is underway, what are your plans for Donna?
I haven't made a definite decision. I'm pretty sure I'll go ahead with my intention to send her back east. But in any event, she won't be going back to school for a few days. Not until this bootleg incident quiets down.
Mm-hmm. Well, perhaps it's best. And it shouldn't carry on much longer. Ricky will appear for sentencing sometime next week. I hate to see it. I wish there was something I could do for him.
It seems to me you've done a lot for him already, Dr. Paul. Considering everything, it's more than the majority would have done.
Well, I'm afraid the majority haven't attempted to weigh Ricky's crime against his character, his potentialities. If they did, they'd discover Ricky's a boy worth doing considerable for.
It doesn't seem to be the general consensus, Dr. Paul. Have you talked with many people around town? Their attitude seems to be that the boy ought to receive a pretty stiff punishment.
Yes, I know. It's too bad they've been given a distorted picture of Ricky. I had hoped I might be able to take care of him myself, have him paroled into my custody. But I'm afraid that isn't possible now.
You're actually serious about that? You'd be willing to take the boy into your home?
Why, of course. It would give me a great deal of satisfaction to watch Ricky's growth and development in the proper environment, under real guidance and with proper stimulus.
You honestly believe he could justify your faith in him?
I'm sure of it.
I don't know. It's a little beyond me, I'm afraid.
You mean the fact that you can't see any good in Ricky?
Oh, there's some good in everyone, I suppose. That's elementary, isn't it? But in Ricky's case, I fail to see the good outweighing the bad. As a matter of fact, I think the reverse is true. It's my opinion that what he's done is proof that he's without the basic ingredients of good character. Everything's against it. His whole background. And at 17, I'm afraid Ricky's remained in the wrong mold too long for him to change. Sure, you can say it isn't Ricky's fault. It's unfortunate that he was raised in that atmosphere, and that's the part I can be sympathetic toward. But you've got to recognize what he is. You can't look at what the boy might have been.
And you see him as completely lost at 17 years of age, with no moral fiber?
Well, a boy with a twisted outlook, in a way. A distorted sense of values. And with a lot of wrong ideas so strongly fixed that he's... Well, it's asking a lot to expect him to change for the better.
Johnny, do you feel you're in a position emotionally to judge Ricky fairly?
What do you mean?
Well, there's several things. You were against Ricky from the beginning, weren't you? Before he became involved in this incident.
Yes, I was.
Why?
Why? Why, for all the obvious reasons. I didn't think he and Donna had anything in common.
But you knew nothing about Ricky's character then. He hadn't done anything to indicate something like this might happen.
I knew his background.
Which was quite the opposite of yours and Donna's.
Exactly. Oh, but wait a minute, Dr. Paul. Don't think I'm being snobbish. I think I've tried pretty hard to prove I'm not.
Yes, Johnny. Too hard. Why did you feel it necessary to prove it? Wasn't it because your desire not to act superior was not completely in accord with your conviction that you were superior? It was an abstract ideal. And when this association came home to you, Donna and Ricky, the ideal wasn't any longer abstract. Your real feelings were outraged. You didn't like it. Think about it, Johnny. Isn't it true?
I have thought about it. And I think Ricky's basic qualities are bad. That he couldn't turn out any different from the way he has. And I think he's justified my opinion.
An opinion based solely on his background, which I'll admit is important. But, Johnny, aren't you forgetting that we're all individuals? That there are no two of us alike, and that no one ever really knows anyone else completely? Individual character won't conform to a mold or pattern. Individuals such as Ricky can rise above their backgrounds and recognize a true and responsible set of values.
But how can you say that this boy has a responsible set of values in the face of what he's done?
I think Ricky's moral fiber is demonstrated in the fact that his background has had as little influence on him as it has. He's undoubtedly lived in perpetual conflict, Johnny. Conflict with himself. The bad against the good. And the bad just about gained the upper hand. Ricky barely caught himself up in time. But it's a good thing that it came to a head now. It'll be the making of him. And no one will ever need worry about Ricky again.
Well, I hope you're right, Dr. Paul. I hope Ricky does make good. But I don't understand why you and Virginia insist on nurturing this affair between him and Donna. At their age, I can't see it as anything but unhealthy.
Oh, but it isn't, Johnny. Not the way those two kids feel about each other. And even so, there's no determining how those things will work out. They may grow apart as they grow older, and eventually take up other interests. On the other hand, assuming that they continue to feel the same way they do now about each other, and that Ricky does prove himself, makes himself into the kind of a person I believe he will, in that case...
All right, then. Maybe you're right. I am a snob. I'd still be against it. I'm sorry, Dr. Paul. I just can't see it. I can't see that he'd ever be anything but bad for Donna.
Bad for her? Surely not, Johnny. Not after what he's done.
What he's done? Is there anything good in what he's done?
Quite a lot. For Donna. It's too bad that it had to be accomplished with so much pain and trouble. But there's one thing about this experience with Ricky. Donna was a spoiled, superficial, deceitful little girl. And Ricky's made her into a fine young woman. She has a sincerity, a depth of understanding, and an honesty that she might not otherwise have known. Can a relationship be unwholesome that would bring about such a change in a girl?
Considering Dr. Paul's words, young Dr. Cabot was forced to concede they were true. Donna had changed with this experience. It had done for her what he himself had hoped to accomplish. Yet, why was it that a part of his mind refused to accept Dr. Paul's philosophy? Would he always be prejudiced against the boy?